scholars, well-wishers, good afternoon and warm welcome to this public Viva Voce examination of Mrs. J.Jani Mercybai. Kindly mute your videos and audios. Imploring God's presence and His assistance on each one of us, we shall begin this session with prayer. God, our loving Father and Mother, we thank you for this grace-filled moment wherein J.Jani Mercybai is going to present her thesis, enlighten her minds and shape her thoughts, organize her presentations and give success to the works of her hands, Lord. May her empirical findings and suggestions educate the hearts of everyone to understand the usage pattern of social media in the life of youngsters. At this juncture, I implore your special graces and blessings upon Dr. Sumati, the examiner, Dr. Revati, the observer, and all the participants of this platform. Bless all of us who are witnessing this event with good health of body and mind. We make this prayer in the name of God. Amen. May I call upon our head of the department, Dr. Helen Stella, to welcome and introduce the examiner, Professor Dr. Sumati, and the observer, Professor Dr. Revati, and also welcome the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Respected convener of today's public Viva Voce examination, Dr. Sister Sahai Selvi, examiner of the Viva Voce board, Dr. M. Sumati, the observer and subject expert from the university, Dr. Revati, our principal, Dr. Sister Sophie, our secretary, Dr. Sister Gerardine Jayam, our vice principal, Dr. Sister Lima Rose, our conductor of examination, Dr. Nalia Josephine Mary, our librarian, Dr. Sister Mary Jansi, Reverend Sisters, professors, former professors of the Department of Commerce, scholars, and family members of the candidate. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Viva Voce examination of our department research scholar, Ms. J.Jani Mercybai. On this auspicious occasion, I feel privileged to introduce and welcome the examiner, Dr. M. Sumati, professor. She got an extraordinary academic record. She has received many awards like Best Social Scientist Award, Best Faculty Honorary Award, Best Citizen of India Award, Senior Woman Educator and Scholar Award, and Best Social Scientist Award in various years. She is the member of various organizations like Indian Academic Researchers Association.
I'm very happy and feel honored to introduce and welcome Mrs. J.Jani Mercybai. She joined Holy Cross College for her MCom program in 2010, followed by MPhil. Later, she worked as Assistant Professor of Commerce in SF1 for 3 years. She joined as full-time research scholar from 2018 January onwards. I ask her as a person of hardworking, dedicated, sincere, obedient, respectful, and helpful. She has published 8 papers in high-impact journals, out of which 3 are UGC Care List, 1 in Web of Science during her research tenure. She is very good in methodological aspects and open to grasp the good and novel ideas from others. As a result, she worked out all the analysis by herself by adapting appropriate research tools. At present, she is working as assistant professor in our college, and she helps many budding scholars of our college with regard to methodology. Her title entitled Social Media Advertisement and Influence on Buying Behavior of College Students in Kanyakumari district is a high relevant one, and it is a boon to both consumers as well as business people in terms of reducing cost, round-the-clock service, saving time, and promoting sustainable development to the government, manufacturers, sellers, and young users. J.Jani, I wish you the very best and implore God's blessings on you to defend your thesis as best as possible and throw insights to all who listen to you, especially the budding scholars. Wish you good luck. May I request Dr. Sumati, the examiner, to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
A very good morning to everybody who assembled for the virtual PhD Public Viva Voce examination of the candidate J.Jani Mercybai under the guidance of Maria Suicide. To everybody virtually joined for the purpose of PhD Public Viva Voce examination of the candidate J.Jani Mercybai under the guidance of Dr. Sahaya Selvi of Anonmayam Sundarnar University, respected observer of MS University, Dr. Revati, and the allied participants who are here for the purpose of observing this examination, and we are expecting more interaction from your side. As per the procedure, she has taken the topic social media advertisements and influence on buying behavior of college students in Kanyakumari district. So in that way, we know the impact of social media, especially during the pandemic period, but she has chosen the topic based on the digital mode. In what way which is influencing the buyer behavior of the students of colleges in Kanyakumari district. So for this purpose, she made an analysis and prepared the chapters, excluding the introductory part. There are 5 chapters she has made with the objectives, and the examiners also made an observation and they have queried based on the presentations in the thesis. As per the procedure, first part, the candidate is permitted to present her research work, and followed by the participants, those who have joined for this public Viva Voce examination virtually. You can interact and you can clarify any queries with the scholar. The scholar must be in a comfortable position to interact and defend the queries raised by the audience. And finally, the examiner's questions will be clarified. So based on this work and the analysis made by the scholar about the social media advertising platform, various types of social media advertisements, social media advertising worldwide, and audiences in India. So in that way, she made an analysis. Apart from that, she reviewed the very recent articles also. Apart from this, the sample respondents she has taken based on the geographical as well as the demographical area. In that way, she identified the variables which was useful for the analysis also. Now, it's the turn for the scholar to present the research work. It is a high-level examination. I request all the participants kindly observe the presentation and make your observation. During the question session, you can interact with the scholar. Now over to you, the candidate, J.Jani Mercybai.
Good afternoon. Please hold on. Let me share my screen. Respected examiner of the Viva Voce Board, Dr. M. Sumadi, eminent observer of the Viva Voce Board, Dr. B. Revati, esteemed convener of the Viva Voce Board, Dr. S. Sahaya Selvi, my doctoral committee members, Dr. Divya Mary Malar, Dr. Bilomin Reggie, all the participants of today's Viva Voce examination. I'm very glad to present my thesis entitled Social Media Advertisements and Influence on Buying Behavior of College Students in Kanyakumari District. The scheme of the report has been classified into 7. The first chapter deals with the introduction of social media advertisements and buying behavior, statement of the problem, significance of the study, scope of the study, objectives of the study, hypothesis, methodology, limitations, and operational definitions of concept. The second chapter consists a detailed review of literature and research gap. The third chapter provides an overview of social media advertisements and influence on buying behavior. The fourth chapter portrays a brief profile of Kanyakumari districts. The fifth chapter, which is descriptive in nature, and the sixth chapter explores the measurement of social media advertisements' influence on buying behavior, which is inferential in nature. The final chapter states the findings, suggestions, and conclusion. The buying behavior of any consumer solely depends upon the promotional mix of marketing. The promotional mix informs the general public about the arrival of a product or the available of a product which is available in the market, even though the manufacturers are scattered across the globe. Social media advertising is one of the modern advertising. It induces the consumers and makes them to become impulsive consumers. And also, the social media advertisements connects the manufacturers to the large number of consumers and is attracted in uncountable and multinational users to become a potential buyers. Social media advertising is both boon to both consumers as well as the business people who are doing their business and who are watching in the advertisements in terms of reducing cost, round-the-clock service, saving time and energy. Social media advertising influences the consumers from their beginning stage of buying behavior until the stage of purchasing the product. Statement of the problem. The advent of information communication technology, digitalization across the globe have brought paradigm shift in the operation of trade and commerce. As per the social media statistical reports, there are 230 million social media active users are in India. Hence, the advertisers concentrates on younger population in the form of different advertisements like video advertisements, banner advertisements, and flash advertisements. The previous research proven that Indian users are spent 2.4 hours on a day on social media, particularly the age group between 18 to 24 years. The way of thinking of youngsters are different from the older generation because of the advertising development. But day by day, as the youngsters are attracting towards them, thus it creates a change in the buying behavior of the youngsters. However, some problems are faced by young users on social media advertisements or content, time-consuming, negative feedback or comments on regarding product and services. At this juncture, number of questions arises in the mind of a researcher like, what is the level of awareness towards social media advertisements? What are the factors that motivate the respondents to watch advertisements? Which type of advertisements do they prefer? Social media, how much the social media advertisements influencing the buying behavior of the respondents? What are the effects of social media advertisements on purchasing decision? And what are the problems faced by the respondents? To fitting the answer to the opposite question, the researcher has undertaken the study as social media advertisements and influence on buying behavior of college students in Kanyakumari district. Significance of the study. The present study is an eye-opener to the manufacturers, sellers, and advertisers. It helps to adapt new advertising strategies to reach a million of audiences. The study is also beneficial to the government to measure the implementation of the digitalization of a country and also take some safety measures on for watching social media advertisements. The study also gives confidence to the youngsters to perceive the advertisements with positive outlook and to overcome the problems like losing their life and losing their money with some false advertisements. Scope of the study. Scope of the study covers functional scope and geographical scope. The functional scope speaks about the social media advertising. Even digital advertisements have different components in it. Social media advertising was taken by the researcher for their study. Geographical scope, when we speak about the geographical scope, it signifies the exclusion of professional and technical colleges, thereby focused only on arts and science colleges to identify the influence of social media advertisements and its influence on the buying behavior. Objectives of the study. The main objective of the study is to measure the influence of social media advertisements behavior of college students in Kanyakumari district. The following are the specific objectives: to study the demographic respondents, to understand the awareness and preference of respondents of social media and its advertisements, to analyze the factors which motivate the respondents to watch advertisements, to measure the buying behavior of sample respondents regarding social media advertisements, to examine the effects of social media advertisements on purchasing decision of sample respondents in the study area, to observe the satisfaction level of respondents towards social media advertisements on the buying behavior, and to identify the problems faced by the respondents due to social media advertisements. To support the objectives of the study, the following null hypotheses have been formulated and tested. There are 7 hypotheses was framed for t-test and one-way ANOVA. For t-test, there is no significant difference between male and female, married and unmarried, rural and urban area, with overall objectives like awareness, purpose of watching advertisements, type of advertisements preferred, products and services preferred on social media advertisements, influence of social media advertisements on buying behavior, effects, satisfaction level of respondents, problems faced by the respondents due to social media advertisements. For one-way ANOVA, there is no significant difference among age group, educational qualification, monthly family income, amount spent on purchase with overall awareness, purpose of social media advertisements preferred, type of advertisements preferred, influence of social media advertisements on buying behavior, effects of social media advertisements on purchasing decision, satisfaction level of respondents due to social media advertisements. In Kanyakumari district, there are 28 arts and science colleges. The list of Kanyakumari district arts and science colleges were collected from the Kanyakumari district handbook 2000. In Kanyakumari district, there are 1 government college, aided colleges 12, self-finance colleges 14, 1 constituent college. Total strength in 28 arts and science colleges are 40,373. The researcher has adapted solvent formula to identify the sample size. Based on the population of the sample size, the researcher has adapted also proportionate stratified random sampling technique. For strata, the respondents were classified into 2. The male population in 28 arts and science colleges are 9,353 and female population are 31,020. On the same proposition, for male is 92 and for female is 304. Then the total sample size of the study is 396. Since the questionnaire was given to all the 396 respondents, but few of the respondents didn't return their questionnaire. Therefore, the loss and response rate for the study is 388. Thus, the final sample size of the respondents are 388. The collected data were analyzed with the help of statistical package for social science version 22. Limitations of the study. The response for the study has been solicited from the district alone. The attitude and buying behavior of the respondents may vary from the professional technical courses and the other district of Tamil Nadu and other states in India. The study may suffer from the elements of biasness. The analysis and the conclusions arrived at are valuable. However, the subject to the limitations of the time and location. The second chapter speaks about the review of literature. The review of literature has been classified into 6 subtopics, namely awareness and preference, motivational factors, influence on buying behavior, effect on purchasing decision, satisfaction towards social media advertisements, and problems faced due to social media advertisements. Review of literature again classified into 2, that is empirical review and thematic review. Hence, further total review of literature is 62. Even though there are 60 empirical reviews of literature are there is no clear-cut and extensive study has been undertaken based on the statistical report of 2019. No research studies has been undertaken to see how social media advertisements are predominantly influence the buying behavior of the arts and science college students in India, particularly in Tamil Nadu, especially in Kanyakumari district. The third chapter is about an overview of social media advertisements and its influence on buying behavior. We all know about what is social media. There are 956 social media sites are working effectively in the aspects of automobile, current affairs, dating and matrimony, electronic commerce, education, entertainment, fashion, lifestyle, food and beverage, gaming, startup, health and technology. Out of these social media sites platform, the researcher has concentrated on a 5 category of social media advertising platforms are namely social media networking sites, blogs, microblogs, video sharing sites, photo sharing sites based on the statistical report of 2019. Buying behavior model in social media advertisements was designed by the researcher. It starts with a person who sees the advertisements in social media sites and to be considered a e-consumers. When their need arises, they are moving for exploring or searching the options. After influencing by that advertisements, they are decided to purchase. After deciding to purchase, they are consuming the products or services. And after consuming that type of products or services, they are analyzing the product or services, whether that product have a good or not for them. If they are satisfied with that product, they will go for repeat purchase. If they are not satisfied to the product, they will never go for another purchase. Fifth and sixth chapter says about the descriptive analysis and inferential analysis. Major findings of the study are displayed here. Awareness towards social media sites are analyzed and based on the mean score of the respondents are highly aware of YouTube. The mean score value is 4.327 and the low mean score is for Quora. The mean score value is 1.856. This view was supported by the study of Supriya Verma and Joyce Lidwina et al. 2020. Types of advertisements preferred based on the mean score. The respondents are prefer video advertisements. The mean score value is 3.851. The low mean score is for pre-roll advertisements and post-roll advertisements 2.108. The same view is supported by the study of Magesh 2013 and Supriya Verma 2016. Influence of social media advertisements on buying behavior was analyzed. Based on the mean score, social media advertisements are informative than traditional advertisements. The mean score value is 3.606 and the low mean score is 4. The people will respect the product they purchase through social media advertisements. The mean score value is 3.32. The results reflect the study of Danish Motwani et al. 2014 and Sajid Hussain et al. 2016. Effects on social media advertisements on purchasing decision was analyzed. Based on the mean score, the respondents are attracted towards social media advertisements compared to traditional advertisements. The mean score value is 3.567 and the low mean score is for advertisements positioning the image of the company. The low mean score value is 3.294. The results are similar to the study done by Ambujakshi, Anjali and Vidya Dora 2017. Satisfaction level of respondents towards social media advertisements based on the mean score. Fun and enjoyment while watching advertisements on social media gets the high score. The high score value was 3.575 and the manufacturer delivers a honest and accurate claims on product and services gets the low score. These results support the study of Otago et al. 2015. Problems also analyzed by the researcher to the respondents. The lack of privacy gets the highest mean score. The highest mean score value is 3.652, and the risk of virus clicking advertisements are 3.216. The results are similar to the study of Gognica 2015, and also it reflects the study of Ferraria et al. 2017. T-test was used to find the significant difference between gender with overall awareness, purpose of social media advertisements watching, type of advertisements preferred, product and services preferred, and influence of social media advertisements and effects of purchasing decision, satisfaction level, and problems faced by the advertisements. The results indicate that there is no significant difference between a male and female respondents. T-test was used to find the significant difference between a marital status with respect to overall awareness, purpose of watching advertisements, type of advertisements preferred, product and services preferred, influence on buying behavior, effects on purchasing decision, satisfaction level of respondents, and problems faced by the respondents due to social media advertisements. This results also reflects that there is a significant difference between married and unmarried. Based on the mean score, unmarried respondents have better opinion regarding social media advertisements than married respondents. T-test was used to find the significant difference between residential status with respect to overall awareness, purpose of watching advertisements, type of advertisements preferred, product and services preferred, influence on buying behavior, effects on purchasing decision, satisfaction level, problems faced by the respondents due to social media advertisements. These results indicates that there is a significant difference between the respondents from rural and urban areas. Used to find a significant difference among the age group of respondents with respect to overall awareness, purpose of watching, problems faced by respondents due to social media advertisements. This results denotes that there is a significant difference among the age group of respondents with respect to effects of social media advertisements and purchasing decision. Based on the Duncan multiple range test, the 17 to 20 years and 21 to 24 years are significantly differ with the age group of 25 to 28 years. ANOVA was used to find the difference among the educational qualification with respect to overall awareness, purpose of watching, types of advertisements preferred, product and services preferred, influence of buying behavior, effects on purchasing decision, satisfaction level, and problems faced by the respondents due to social media advertisements. The results denotes that there is a significant difference among the educational qualification of the respondents with respect to influence of social media advertisements. Based on the Duncan multiple range test, undergraduates or postgraduates are significantly differ with scholars at 5% level. ANOVA was used to find the significant difference with the income of monthly family income of the respondents with respect to overall awareness, purpose of watching advertisements, type of advertisements preferred, product and services preferred, influence on buying behavior, effects on purchasing decision, satisfaction level of respondents, problems faced by the respondents due to social media advertisements. This results also reflects that there is a significant difference among the family monthly income of the respondents to the satisfaction level of the respondents towards social media advertisements. The way a factor analysis was used to analyze the motivational factors, the variables are rotated into 7. Namely, appealing factor, representational factor, personality factor, informative factor, detection factor, display factor, and comparison factor. Structural equation model was used to identify the influence of social media advertisements on the buying behavior with overall objectives. In this model, all the values are perfectly correlated with one another. 57% of the respondents have high influence of social media advertisements on their buying behavior, and 72% of the respondents have the influence of social media advertisements on their purchasing decision. By using structural equation model, the researcher concludes that there is an incredible effect on buying behavior with respect to the respondents after watching social media advertisements. The suggestions are written based on the findings of the study. Here, I displayed only the significant suggestions to the manufacturers and sellers, to the advertisers, to the government, and the end users of social media. To the manufacturers and sellers, in the social media sites or manufacturers can have a separate application for their company products and services so as to reach a targeted audience in an effective and efficient manner. The manufacturers can be prudent in choosing the right type of social media platform while launching the products and services so as to capture the audience. The manufacturers can appoint a research and development department so as to check the opinions and feedbacks given by the customers to improve the products and services. The advertisers must realize and recognize their social responsibility by avoiding vulgarism, furnishing true and fair information to while creating a loyalty among the public with regard to product and services. The advertisers shall display the terms and conditions of the products in a visible manner by attracting colors and different formats, which will be appealing to the eyes of the consumers to make a proper decision based on that information given in the advertisement. The advertisers can create the advertisements for less than 15 seconds, which was done by the Facebook advertisements, which will reduce the cost, helping to remember the advertisement and avoiding irritation of viewers while they watch advertisements in the social media. To the government, the Tamil Nadu state government needs to take initiatives like that of Kerala state government, taking initiatives like Kerala fiber optic network, such as bringing a high-speed internet facilities to the every households, free internet service to the family who are in the poverty level. This result, online shopping can be promoted and the dream of digitalization of the country become a reality. The government can request and monitor the university authorities to formulate the curriculum for undergraduate program in order to create awareness on social media and its usage and its defects, which might facilitate the students to be careful in disclosure of private data and overcome the difficulties which threatens their emotional and psychological problems. The government can pass stringent penalty for the vulgarity advertisements. Hence, they can set up a mechanism just like that of consumer court, which might monitor the vulgarity advertisement and facilitate a true and fair information about the product and services. To the end users of social media, the youngsters can become aware of a handbook of adolescents of cyber safety and behave as per the guidelines offered by the Ministry of Home Affairs so as to secure themselves from unauthorized dealers or hackers. And safeguard their devices by timely updated antivirus or other forms of security devices so as to protect themselves as a personal data. So the youngsters can come forward to invent the software just that e-scan software. They can be alert and avoid mishandling of data from their devices. The youngsters can be transparent and accountable to their parents and their teachers when they are abused by social media threats so as to save themselves from the victim of fraud or scam. The youngsters can make use of the social media site to expose their creativity and their ideas through which they can earn money for their livelihood. Conclusion of the study. The results indicates that the respondents are aware of social media advertisements and they are mostly trust on information given in the advertisements. At the same time, they are attracted by the social media advertisements compared with traditional advertisements. Hence, the advertising agencies can come forward to use social media sites rather than doing advertisements on television, radio, and other media platforms. On the whole, the advertisers, manufacturers, government, and youngsters should implement the aforesaid suggestions to upgrade themselves to sustain effectively the upcoming days. The researcher also concludes that social media advertisements have positive outlook on the buying behavior, and it helps the respondents to recollect the advertisements regarding the product and services when they go for either online or for offline. Prospects of the further research, COVID-19, a gateway to early users in adapting social media advertisements in Kanyakumari district, a study on influence of social media advertisements and the buying behavior of online users in Tamil Nadu, a study on preference and satisfaction level of digital natives towards social media advertisements in Facebook commerce in Tamil Nadu, a study on social media advertising and its consequences on e-tailers in Tamil Nadu, social media advertising, a tool for sustainable development of business in India, a study on opportunities and threats on e-tailing markets in India, a comparative study of impact of social media advertisements on professional or technical college students in Kanyakumari district, green advertising, an effective path to reduce a carbon footprint. The list of publications for your perusal. Thank you.
Yeah, now it's a turn for the audience. Yeah, Kalarani and Melda, you can interact with the scholar now. Kalarani and Melda, you can interact with the scholar. You can raise the question now. It is time for the audience to interact with the scholar, especially Dr. Melda or Kalarani. You can ask any queries now.
Hello.
If there is no question, the guide should decide whether we are giving 1 hour time to raise the question or interaction, and then we can conclude, ma.
Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Myself, J.Jani. Thank you for wonderful presentation. I have some queries. May I ask you?
Yeah, ask, sir.
Okay. What is the criteria for selecting 91 male sample from the male strata? We have selected 91 male sample, right?
Yeah, yes, 92.
What is the
Yeah.
criteria for selecting the 91 sample from the male strata?
Okay, sir, I'll tell you. So in our 28 arts and science colleges, is this visible now? The screen is visible now?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll show you. So the total sample strength of 28 arts and science colleges are 40,373. So among that, there are 9,303 male respondents and 31,020 female respondents. So I used a proportionate stratified random sampling to identify the strata. So there are two strata. The same ratio is used to choose. This is the formula. Py is equal to n into ny, ni divided by n. So based on this formula, I made the result as male as
based on the proportion, right?
Yeah, it's based on the proportion. I used this formula. The proportion result is male 92 and female 304.
Okay. One more question.
Okay.
Your third objective: analyze the factors which motivate the response to advertisement, right?
Yeah.
How do you analyze the factors? How do you identify the factors? How do you identify the factors?
Wait. So with the help of a factor analysis used with the help of a SPS version 22, I derived that result as a 7 factors. I'll show you now. So
Okay.
these are the 7 factors which I get it from the rotation. Wait. I think it's not visible now. Okay. Now it's visible.
Yeah, okay.
So when I rotated the variables, I got 7 things. The samples, or it means the 7 factors, or appealing factor, representation factor, personality factor, informative factor, deduction factor, display factor, and comparison factor.
Which one is
Any
most
questions?
influencing factors?
The first factor I told you, the appealing factor. So what are the
Appealing
products are appealing factor? Okay, so the first factor.
One more question. What is the main problem that is faced by the social media advertisement based on last objective?
The main problem you're asking,
Yeah.
So the main problem of the respondents based by the advertisement is lack of privacy. So when you search advertisements or when you search a product, automatically it will display as advertisements in YouTube or some other Facebooks you have, means it will display that. So there is no privacy in social media sites. So this is the main problem faced by the respondents.
Is there any solution to overcome this?
Yeah, sure. So the respondents, already I gave the solution in the young users suggestions. I'll show you.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, okay, here. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Out of background.
Yeah, some other.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm Melda.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this pandemic situation,
Yes.
which impact are included in your advertisement, social media advertisement, main impact?
So in the pandemic situation is the pleasant period of social media advertisements.
Yes, correct.
Because we know that, because always we are in the online. So when we open a YouTube or when we open a Facebook, simply the advertisers are using this situation as their pleasant days, and they are displayed like that. Now also they are displaying like this.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Johnny ma'am, I'm
Yes,
Martina,
ma'am.
research scholar.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a small general query.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, do you feel whether the social media advertisements influence the adults to make unnecessary spending?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. So when you search a product, automatically it displays. So automatically our eyes are on the products. So it is a problem to the adults. So we know that. So they have to know how to rectify the problem. So the personal thing only is the important for every person to rectify their own problems, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
There is one more question in the chat box. What is the difference between third and fourth objective?
Okay, I'll answer the question.
Third objective you have mentioned as analyze the factors which motivate the respondents to watch
advertisements. And in this, the fourth objective, I mentioned what is the measure of buying behavior of a social media on a particular respondents. So that is the difference. A motivational factor is different from the buying behavior respondents. Buying behavior of the respondents.
Excuse me, I'm Shandini.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you what is the research gap for your study?
So the research gap, there is no studies based on the statistical report of 2019. So in the statistical report, I mentioned the 7 social media advertising platforms. I'll show you, ma'am. The 7 social media sites of These are the 7 social media sites under the category of 5 above platforms. Okay, ma'am. So under this category, this is the research gap, ma'am. So there is no research study was before taken by any people. That's why I want to bridge this gap. I found the study. This is my research.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
One more question in the chat box. What are the factors influencing satisfaction level?
What are the factors influencing the satisfaction level? So the satisfaction level of respondents was influenced by the fun and enjoyment, easy to compare, the chance to skip the advertisements. So these are all the factors are influencing the respondent's satisfaction level.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I am the Kalarani, full-time scholar. Ma'am, your topic is influence of buying behavior of college students, but you have to mention only youngster. So how to deviate the age group of people, ma'am? Youngster
So the
or
age
student?
group, no, ma'am, I didn't mention anything. Commonly we are saying they are the youngsters, but the age group of this study is for UG 17 to 21 and for PG 21 to 24, and the above 24 ages, it means the 28 or 29 will come under the category of source scholars.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, which age group of people most influence, ma'am?
So it means 17 to 20, ma'am. So 17 to 20 and 21 to 24, so significantly influenced by the social media advertisements compared with the age group of 25 to 28 years.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
One more question in the chat box. Is there any impact of advertisement on purchase decision? Is there any impact on advertisement on purchase decision?
Yeah, there is an impact on purchasing decision. While watching that social media advertisements, they are deciding to purchase. Okay, I want to purchase this type of product. Okay, we need to order through online. It means the platforms used for Flipkart or Amazon. So there is definitely an effect on purchasing decision.
Any other scholars? Any other teachers who wish to interact with the researcher? So this is the time for the examiner to raise the questions which is related to the. My first question is whether it is of primary data, right?
Yes, ma'am. It is a primary data research, ma'am.
So which tool was used to test the validity and reliability of data? Which tool you have used for testing the validity and reliability?
Cronbach alpha we used to identify the reliability of the data, ma'am.
Okay. What is the result?
Yeah, it fitted with all the things, ma'am. It always must have the score of 0.7, more than the value was 0.7. So therefore, the study is reliable. Yes, ma'am.
What is your contribution? Because the consumer behavior and the buyer behavior, okay, in terms of age or in terms of the public, whatever it is, whoever it is, right? In this contribution, what is your contribution to the existing review of literature through this research?
The contribution you're asking.
Through this study, what what is your contribution you are adding to the existing literature?
So I think about the publication of this research, ma'am. After that, I will do the publication, and after that, I will get a title patent, ma'am.
Have you checked the validity of data?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. You checked it, ma'am.
Explain the process.
For the SPSS, you are asking?
What is the result of the confirmatory factor analysis? CFA.
There is. What did you ask, ma'am?
What is the result of confirmatory factor analysis? CFA, we are telling, no?
Yeah, CFA we have. Wait, ma'am. I'll tell, ma'am. So GF value, or you're asking the KMO values, no, ma'am? Okay, ma'am, I'll share the screen. And the KMO value was 0.699, and it is significant with the 0.01. And the battle sky score value is 1180.17, ma'am. DF value is 190, ma'am.
Madam, do you have any other questions, Sumati, madam?
Yeah, two more. Who is asking?
I'm the convener. Convener is asking, ma'am. Dr. Sahai Selvi is asking.
Any other? She is searching the thesis or what? That.
No, already I told the answer, ma'am.
You got the validity?
Yes, ma'am, I got the validity, and I already told.
But CFA result?
Okay, ma'am, I'll tell you.
That's what I'm waiting. Otherwise, we can skip.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, I'm waiting. The CFA value is 0.081, and recommended by model is greater than 0.90.
Have you used the software? Which software, Amos or what?
Amos false, ma'am.
You have worked, but you have not shown in your presentation.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I didn't mention in the PPT, ma'am.
That is the result I am expecting from you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on the one examiner, they raised the question. And what type of sampling design that adopted for your research study, and how you determine the sample size?
Sample size was determined with the help of Solbin's formula, and the proportionate random sampling technique was used. So the formula has provided the statistical sample size as 396. But after getting the response from the respondents, the response rate is 388.
Is different from the type of sampling you have adopted for your study to determine the sample size. Yeah. Whether it is descriptive in nature or analytical.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Okay, ma'am. It is a descriptive in nature and also the influential nature.
Here, you have mentioned in your operational definition, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that blogs?
Blog is an informational web page published on World Wide Web. It consists of regular or frequent posts.
Can you classify the social media platforms? Social media advertising
The
platforms?
social media platforms are classified into 5. The first one is social networking
It got
sites.
its momentum during this pandemic period, right?
So the social networking,
yeah,
yes, ma'am?
which was very much widely used, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what kind of the category of social media advertising platforms in this current situation?
So in this study, there are 5 categories of social networking social media advertising platforms, namely social networking sites, blogs, microblogs, photo sharing, and video sharing sites. So in this pandemic period, there are 2 things was frequently used by the advertisers, just such as social networking sites and video sharing sites.
As one scholar raised, always you are mentioning young users or youngster like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not that I am having a question. What are your suggestions to the young users of social media based on your findings of the study?
So there is a lack of privacy is that. So there is a means for the youngsters, they have to know how to use the social media sites and for what purpose they have to use. They have to know all those things. And after that, they need to know about the safety measures given by the government, and it means the cyber safety department gives some suggestions like the users, when they are using the social media advertisements, they have to check whether they are it is valid data or not. So that's why based on the suggestions I'm giving to the youngsters now.
So what is the suggestion you want to make through this study?
So the totals from the study, I'm giving some suggestions like they have to transparent to their parents and parents as well as the teachers when they use this type of social media advertisements. And if they are scammed by that means, they have to get ideas from the persons who are in a counseling line. So based on that, I gave.
What is the tool we will use for measuring the impact or effect normally as a researcher? What is the tool normally we use to measure the impact or effect?
The researcher instantly will use a tool as a means t-test, ANOVA. We can use. Yeah.
Measuring the impact, I am asking.
Measuring the impact, ranking will helpful. So what you ask me?
No, my only simple question is, right, in order to measure the impact or effect of social media advertisements, right? Yeah, you have given in your objectives to analyze the factors influencing, to measure the buying behavior of sample respondent, to examine the effects of social media advertisement, right? Or this, which is the suitable tool to measure, to identify, or to calculate the impact or effect?
Factor analysis and SEM, t-test, and ANOVA is helpful to measure all those things, ma'am.
Easy, ma. You have applied all the tools. That is different.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're asking in apart from this research.
No. Yeah, based on your objective, right? Impact of your research. You have given 4 objectives out of 6 objectives.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is the to measure the buying behavior. The 4th objective is also telling that examine the effect of social media advertisement, right? Which is the suitable tool to measure the impact or effect?
Suitable tool.
Now, can we use a regression analysis?
No, ma'am, I didn't use any regression analysis.
Then how did you measure the effect of social media based on which tool?
So I used it to ANOVA, and effect means the ANOVA I used it with overall objectives, ma'am.
Overall objectives.
Yeah, yes. With demographic profile, with overall objectives. I didn't separated any objectives from.
Yeah. So that is the lack now, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Okay. I didn't separated any objectives, ma'am. I overall objectives.
So objective wise analysis is necessary, no? So this objective I have used this particular tool. Second objective, this is the measure. So for which I have applied this particular tool like that. Not generalized. So you applied the tools wherever required, but you have generalized it, right? Not objective based. Okay. So this is my observation.
Okay.
Yes. Any question from the observer finally? Anybody? Yeah. The research supervisor, shall we conclude?
Yes, madam, we can conclude.
Okay. Based on the interaction made, and we should not force the participants to interact with the scholar. Based on their observation, they have to interact with the scholar. That is the every teacher's expectation. So in that way, some 8 to 9 participants, they have queried, and some of them posted in the chat box also, right? But at the time of their publication or making the articles, they must be thorough with the individual contribution of the tools based on the objectives. That is my expectation. With this, based on the presentation, based on the interaction made by the research scholar and the work done, and apart from that, based on the recommendations given by the 2 examiners, I recommend the authorities of Manonmaniyam Sundarnar University to award the Doctor of Philosophy in Commerce to the candidate J.Jani Mercybai under the guidance of Dr. Sahaya Selvi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, external examiner, madam, and hearty congratulations to the research supervisor and to the scholar.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
Shall we wind up, ma?
Convener of the Viva Voce examination, shall we wind up?
Yes, madam. Say what are things.
Make it up now.
Now, it's a time. It's my immense pleasure to thank all those who contribute to finish my research work successfully. I thank God Almighty for His guidance throughout my research. My sincere thanks to the examiner of the Viva Voce board, Dr. M. Sumadhi, professor and head of the Department of Commerce, Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, for your valuable suggestion and wishes. Thank you, madam. I acknowledge my gratitude to Dr. B. Revati, the observer of the Viva Voce board, head of the Professor of Commerce, Dean of Arts, Manonmaniyam Sundarnar University, for your cooperation in organizing this online Viva Voce examination. Thank you, madam. I'm very grateful to my guide for her excellent guidance and support. she has extended. I'm fortunate even enough to have such a harmonious guide. Thank you so much, sister. I extend my thanks to the Vice Chancellor of Manoன்மணியம் Sundara University, the Registrar, the Research Coordinator for giving me the permission to do research in esteemed university. And also, I thank our Secretary, Dr. Sister Geraldine James, our Principal, Dr. Sister Annie Poppet Sophie, Vice Principal, Dr. Sister Lima Rose, and our controllers of examination, Dr. Vinolia Josephine Mary, and the head of the Department of Commerce, Dr. Mary Helen Stella, and all the sisters for providing me all the necessary facilities to do the research in this prestigious institution. My evening's gratitude to the doctoral committee members, Dr. Bilomin Ritchie, Assistant Professor of Commerce, St. Mary's College, Thuthukudi, Mary Maller, Professor of Commerce, Holy Cross College, for their valuable guidance to do my research in a perfect manner. I wish to thank Dr. Jessie Isabella, Dr. Julia Caesar, Dr. Bino, and Dr. Shaila Suganti for their guidance and scholarly support. My heartfelt thanks to my colleagues, my family members, and friends for their motivation and support. I would like to thank all the teaching and non-teaching of our college, especially my sincere thanks to Mr. Anto Varan, Mr. Robin, Mr. Amudan, Mrs. Abhisha, and Dr. Hazel Jeddah, Dr. Jamila, Dr. Divya Mary Malar, Dr. Caroline Jenny Chalu, Dr. Jennifer Mugila, Nyana Mugila for their help. My special thanks to all the participants of today's Viva Voce examination. I also thank my life partner, Mr. Jose, and the kids for their support. Finally, I thank all the participants of my Viva Voce examination for sparing your valuable time. Without your contribution, this event may not be a successful one. Once again, I thank you.
Thank you everyone for your fraternity and coming for Madam, thank you so much. Sumati ma'am and Revati ma'am, thank you so much. Let us log out from this virtual platform. Thank you for coming for Dr. J.Jani Mercybai Viva Voce. Thank you so much.
Shall we end the Viva ma'am? Sagaya Selvi ma'am.
We can do that. We can do that, sir. Now we can log out. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. So on behalf of Center for Research, Manoன்மணியம் Sundara University, I congratulate the candidate, Dr. J.Jani Mercybai. And I want to record a sincere thanks all the Viva Voce board panel members, particularly the external examiner of this Viva Voce examination, Dr. M. Sumadi ma'am, Professor, Department of Commerce, Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore. Thank you so much, ma'am. And the supervisor as well as the convener of this Viva Voce board, Dr. Sagaya Selvi ma'am, from the Department of Commerce, Holy Cross College, Nagarkoil. And finally, the observer of this Viva Voce, Professor Revati ma'am, from Manoன்மணியம் Sundara University. All other valuable various professors from various colleges, other institutions, and research scholars and students. So thank you so much. Once again, I thank you so much for conducting this Viva Voce exam in grand manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.